Hey, how's it going? It's Sam Frost here, coming off holiday mode to get started for 2024 with some more digital marketing advice. In today's video, what I want to talk about is something that I think is an increasingly critical concept to get your head around. When it comes to digital marketing, marketing in general, it's something that I think is going to become more and more important to understand as platforms such as Google Ads, Meta Ads or Facebook Ads kind of become almost more challenging to extract performance out of. And that is being really clear on the fact that not all of your customers are ready to buy right now. So imagine that you could fill a room, at the drop of a hat, the click of a finger, with 100 potential customers. So based on who they are, whether that's a person or a company, or sort of the representatives of a company, I should say, because ultimately it's a person at a company who has to buy or sign off the purchase. Whatever you're selling, imagine 100 of your ideal customers in a room. How many of those ideal customers do you think are ready to buy your product or service right now? That is to say that they're in market for that product or service. Whether you're selling fashion accessories or you're selling software or you're selling professional services, it's not going to be all of them. In fact, it's very likely to be only a sort of scant few of them who are in market looking to buy at any given point in time. As a rule, when it comes to consumer offers, particularly lower cost ones, there will be more people in market at a given point in time. But when it comes to business offers, particularly sort of highly complex ones where you're solving difficult problems, you're implementing complex solutions, all those kind of things, it could be a very small number. It could be none of them potentially. You might have 100 of your ideal customers in a room because you know that your product or service really solves a problem that this audience has, but they haven't had it pointed out to them yet. And that's the key point I want to kind of hammer home, is with digital marketing particularly, it's very, very easy to focus in on the audience or the sort of portion of your audience that is in market at a given point in time. So imagine of those 100 people in the room, if you are selling, running shoes, for example, which is a really simplistic example. Of 100 runners, there might be 20 of them, so 20%, who are right now looking for a new pair of running shoes because every so often they need to buy a new pair or they've got a marathon coming up or whatever it is. It's easy to focus on them with things like Google Ads or SEO because you can target keywords like running shoes for sale or best deals on running shoes or whatever it is. But you potentially ignore the value of building your brand sort of presence and recognition and recall amongst those other 80, amongst the other people in the room who aren't quite ready to purchase yet. But when it's time for them to buy that new pair of running shoes, instead of jumping on Google and searching for best deals on running shoes, where you're having to pay per click to compete against other advertisers, other vendors, and it can be quite hard to actually win business profitably in that manner. Usually it's often a case of maybe sort of breaking even on the first purchase and hoping they come back again. At least that's been my experience with a lot of businesses and how their models operate. If you can build awareness and engagement and sort of consideration of your brand so that those other prospective customers, when they are ready to buy running shoes, and that's because maybe they buy a new pair every June and we've just come into January. So they're not ready to buy. It doesn't matter what you do, what you offer them. It won't be a case that they're ready to buy until June, or maybe they haven't got a running event coming up, but when they do, they'll look to buy a new pair of shoes. Whatever the case may be, you want to try and look at how you can build your brand as being the kind of go-to option for that particular target customer when they are ready to buy, because not all of your customers are ready to buy at any given point in time. This is even more prominent or critical in business-to-business verticals. This is something I see clients struggle to kind of get their head around sometimes, is they really want to focus in on whoever is looking for a product or service or a solution right now, because you feel almost comforted by the fact that you can potentially put a Google search ad up or run an SEO campaign and start ranking better for a particular keyword, or do some aggressive retargeting on LinkedIn or Meta or whatever the case may be, and track that a lead has come from that activity and then hopefully track that to a sale. But if that's all you do, you're competing often in what is the most expensive space to compete in. And also you are missing out on a whole wealth of opportunity that comes from your brand being at the top of the mental consideration list when somebody wants to go and buy a new pair of running shoes or a new business accounting software or whatever the case may be. This is obviously an oversimplified way to look at it. Some markets whether it's based on location or whether it's an international market, whatever it might be, have a lot more kind of competition and a lot more complexity than others. It might be hard to build a brand. In fact, it's never really easy to build a brand. But what I'm trying to encourage you to think about is moving in 2024 past that kind of almost performance marketing mindset of it's only worth going after people who are looking to buy right now and will only use channels or tactics that would reach people who are looking for a product or service at any given point in time, and instead moving into a mindset more of, hey, there are a whole lot of people out there, a whole lot of businesses out there, or representatives at those businesses who could benefit from our product or service or solution at some point in the future, and when they are ready to go out and purchase that product or service or solution, we want to be at the top of the list. So hopefully you found that helpful. I'm going to be really hammering home on this subject because I think it's so critical to get your head around. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, please do let me know, and I'll see you next time.